Hi.
Hi.
Just let me move this back a bit and me back a bit.
I have a cat that's probably going to photobomb us here real soon.
Well, I had a little panic because I was sat here and I was all ready and I had a cup of tea.
And you spilled it.
And yeah, one of my cats decided to come up and, you know how they rub the face up, and spilt the tea down the shirt that I had on. So I had to run upstairs and get changed quickly.
Nice.
Right. So hello.
Hi.
How was Florida today?
Overcast and a little sprinkly, so best to be inside in front of a camera.
Absolutely. Well, hello everybody. Hello everybody that's down here. I'm trying to have a look at you. As always, Pam and I have interesting weeks.
Yeah.
You know, we've got strange lives of Pam and I. I want to start off with hello Sunderland. See, it's my end of the world. We're good up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to start off with a message to teenagers. Right, I'll go into it. There is a military man that we talked to called Josh Easton. Now, Josh is lovely, really, and he's an absolute gentleman. He really is. I mean, oh, hello, Nigeria. Yeah. Joe, we've got them in. Can we get them out? Yeah, so Josh is an absolute gentleman. And he is absolutely going through something at the moment that nobody should have to go through. And his family, because now I'm going to read this to you. Now we're having trouble with trying to contact two women. One's called Taylor Brooke and the other one is Amelia Starr Dillingham. Now, Amelia decided to write to a relative of Joshua and Josh, and they're rather nasty to him. Now there's a few pointers come up from this message, but I'll read it. Hello, you don't know me, but I'm 17. I'm a 17-year-old high school student. One of my friends recently came in contact with your son Easton. Now Easton's not his first name, and it's not one you would use as a first name, so that tells you a lot. He is in the process of blackmailing my friend who is 16 years old. He is in possession of her body photos, threatening to share them with her Facebook friends. Your son is honestly sickening, reaching out to younger high school girls, asking them for nudes and money that they don't have. Your son needs to back off or police will be involved. Maybe you shouldn't mess with a high school student who has friends. So I want to talk about this because there are a few things that come up here. One, that lady should never have had that message. Not in a million years.
Because she's a victim. She's a victim to all of this. She has nothing to do with it.
No, nothing at all. And it shouldn't have even gone to anything to do with Josh, but, you know, she should not have had that at all. And so we've got to the other thing where, and this will not surprise you because this scum, the Nigerians are getting 16-year-old schoolgirls. Are you surprised? Actually, I'm not. No. The third thing is a 16-year-old high school student has been online writing to a man older than her. And sending him naked pictures of herself. Yeah. Scammer didn't jump in her phone and take her clothes off and take the pictures. 16-year-old high school student decided it was fun to send naked pictures to a much older man that she'd never met, that she met online. Now, 17-year-old Amelia Starr Dillingham, maybe you shouldn't mess on behalf of your high school student who takes her clothes off for older men. And maybe you should just learn that you managed to research who the man was, you managed to research who his family was, but you didn't manage to research about the scammer. And I find that appalling. Yeah. Absolutely appalling. Now, I want to talk to these two girls because there was two. Taylor Brooke also decided to send rude messages, you know, sort of basically awful messages. to his family. But there's a lot going on here. Now, his command and law enforcement are getting involved in this because of the seriousness of the allegations. He shouldn't have to go through this. It's not even just like being a normal you've taken $3,000 off me.
Oh, so you're saying that his employer is getting involved in it because
he's been to his employer. He's been to his command in the army, and he's told them all about it.
He has to justify his means, himself, say that it wasn't him, and he has nothing to do with this. That's a shame. That's a real
It is a shame, but he's gone to them, and it's all open and it's all above board and it's all out there. So if little 17-year-old wants to cause any trouble, she can come and do it to me or you or anybody. But there's a lot there. Scammers are targeting teenagers. So what? We knew they would. I mean, I'm saying so what, but you know what I mean. They'll do it to anybody.
If there's a way to get money or services, and you know what kind of services we're talking about, if there's a way to get money or services for money laundering, they don't care who they scam. It doesn't matter. Anybody that's going to answer is a prime target, whether they're 16 or 65 or 85. It makes no difference. If you're going to answer these strangers, then you're a target.
Just seen it, Joe. Joe sent me a message.
Did you get a slide?
No. The account of the military person in question has just gone down. And I don't think it's him that's taken it down. So this is getting, I mean, it is serious. We know it's serious, but come on, can it get more serious than this? And should people have to put up with this? Really, should they have to put up with this? It's awful. In one way, I would like to teach 16 and 17-year-olds what's going on and, to not do it.
And you talk about social media, how many times do we see all these forwarded cutesy messages or very important messages? Can't we start our own movement with the help of the world by trying to educate the world about scammers? And the prime message is, do not talk to strangers because you don't know who you're dealing with, and they will most likely always be a scammer, and they are very dangerous. So can't we get a movement going? Somebody create a post and talking about scammers and then just forward it on out to a gazillion people. I mean, education is key. So it's about educating the world and stop talking to scammers.
No, Joe's just said he was actually talking to her when his account went down. Because we're going to do a live chat with him. So so we were actually, Joe was talking about that to him. But let's start at 16 and go upwards so that they're not going to get you. Hello, New York. So they're not going to get the older ones. But for heaven's sake, schoolgirls, keep your clothes. Can you hear this cat? Keep your clothes on, please. It's bad enough when 70-year-old women do it. Pam, what we were talking about earlier we were saying about show this to everybody else so nobody will get caught.
We were talking.
Can I just talk about that while I go and let Henrik out, please? Otherwise, he won't stop.
Yes, we were talking. Let me just grab my message here. So we were going to talk about. I had a double message here, so I was trying to read it. I'm sorry.
That was my boy cat.
Sorry about
my boy cat wants something.
Manly voice on him.
Yeah.
We were talking about not starting telling the victims, telling the scammers about contacting the FBI, and then she was saying how when she tells the scammer, I'm going to contact the FBI, they disappear really fast. Oh, please. That is just it's rubbish. They don't go anywhere. They just either go on to the next person, but they could care less about the threats that anybody makes to them. Why? Because they will never be caught. I know it's a horrible reality, but scammers will never be caught, ever. So you can curse them out. You can tell them that you're going to get law enforcement involved, the FBI, the Secret Service. Who cares? They are laughing because they know you cannot touch them with a 10-foot pole. And it is simply, it's unfortunate, but it's the hard truth that the crime happened out of our jurisdiction, out of the country, whether it's England or the United States. It happened out of the country, and law enforcement has no jurisdiction in their country, which happens to be in the pocket of scammers as well. So
the EFCC, they're very underfunded. They actually do quite a good job. And I'll tell you why. Because they are not there for scammers. They are there for fraud in Nigeria. And by God, if you look on their site, they scam each other a lot more than they scam the world. The fraud that goes on in Nigeria is horrendous.
Because I don't care who
it's Nigeria, yeah, they're corrupt. But, you know, there is an awful lot of fraud. There's an awful lot of bribery and corruption. There's, you know, there's a lot of government fraud. There's a lot of like selling cars fraud and things like that. Nigeria is built on fraud. So basically, you know, I always like to tell them things, but we can't depend on anybody. The only thing we can depend on is them not getting anything.
Right.
And so, you know, this lady said, oh, well, you know, tell people
to protect. Yeah. So hold on, brother Robert.
It's Beth Robert.
Beth Robert. Okay. So the answer to that is we have, in the United States, we have laws that protect us from this type of fraud of scamming people. But the crime did not happen here in the United States. It happens out of the country. So the law that we have here in the United States just encompasses the United States. So I can't go and scam my neighbor. And if I do, then he can file charges and it's a federal offense. So that's the reason for that. The crime has to be in your own country. So that means Nigeria or Pakistan or Turkey, wherever the other scammers are at, their country is not going to go after them.
We've seen before where the FBI have, you know, sort of arrested 10 or 80 at one go once. But that is when you have a massive, massive fraud and you've got millions upon millions of dollars involved. You know, you just sending them a bit of money, they're not going to get involved in that. So the only thing we can do, this lady said to me, oh, you should tell them you know somebody in the FBI. No, I've got a better idea than that. Don't talk to them in the first place. And then you don't need to tell them anything.
Right.
Because they haven't got you.
We have the power to control this. We have the power to stop them and put them out of business. It's simply by not responding to them, period. They ask, we give. They ask, we send, you know? Yeah. I mean, all the way down to take your clothes. I mean, I've seen in the time that I've been doing this, the evolution of scammers, how it works from the point A all the way down to all the different little spider veins that go out about taking your clothes off or asking you to open up a checking account or sending this, sending that. You can really see how it all evolves, and it's very dangerous, very dangerous. When I say dangerous, and you can't do anything about it other than let's stop talking to them.
It has evolved. And why has it evolved? Because it's so easy. Because they are getting the response that they want. They say take your clothes off. The women take the clothes off and send pictures about. And I'm sorry, ladies, I say this every week. I take my clothes off and I send a picture and and it's going to look awful. There is nothing romantic about an old lady's body. I'm sorry, I don't care whether I look like, I don't know, I can't think of anybody sexy offhand, but I don't care who I looked like, you know. It wouldn't look good at my age. It just doesn't.
But so it's not about looking good. It's about
respect as well. Respect for yourself.
Definitely. I want to read a letter that I got from a victim, and it really illuminates the fact that they're dangerous. These are dangerous people that you don't know who you're talking to and dealing with, and succumbing to the fact that nobody's got a gun to your head. Nobody's making you do this. And you actually get yourself so wrapped up into this conversation that you've now turned it into a romance. This lady, she was only talking to this stranger that she now happened to think that there was a future for them in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, she did some really horrible things to herself, zero self-respect. So she's telling me, she sent me a message from her scammer. Now, mind you, this is within the content of 3 weeks' time. So his message was, hello, so-and-so. Yeah, hope you know this was the biggest mistake you ever did, was blocking me on Hangouts, forgetting I have some hotties of you. You have 20 minutes to unblock me and deal with me, or I will drop every page on Facebook of your hottie photos. And mind you, your exes, your kids, your grandkids, your nephews, your sisters, in-laws, friends, colleagues, at work, colleagues, friends of friends are not going to be left out. And by the time you realize it, you will be all over social media trending. Don't ever try to play smart here with me, okay? And know that I am very damn serious about this, and I will do it. All it takes to make sure I expose you to such and such a community. Your time is counting. Think about your personality, how your kids will feel when they see their friends see you and keep sharing all of your ill behaviors. Your enemies will be glad to repost your pictures when they see it. Mind you, I have all the information to prove to them that it's you. So here you are, you've got somebody that you think is so fantastic. Why? Because it all starts out innocently and very nice, very romantic, but this is exactly what you're dealing with. Pieces of garbage that will destroy you just like that.
And I don't think that I don't think personally that you could trust anybody in 3 weeks, whether I mean, much less if you've never met them.
Yep.
I know it's very nice to have somebody say to you, I love you so very much, honey.
Common sense.
That's fine, but they're saying that after 2 days. Now, come on, ladies.
Yeah. If it was that easy to find the love of your life, do you think all these other social media dating apps would even be around? Since when have you ever heard somebody having found love in like an instant? It just doesn't happen. It's not real. It's not real.
I have said that, the quickest proposal that I've ever had was under 8 minutes. But I was bored. But yeah, this is it. This is what they're doing. And every single one of them has got the same agenda. It doesn't matter whether they're scamming as a soldier, whether they're scamming as Dr. Pinto, whether they're scamming as whoever. The agenda is exactly the same.
It is.
They are greedy, lazy people.
And they will get you. They will get you if you do not do as they say. If you don't have any money, they're going to use you for mule services. And if you don't do as they say, they're going to do this. Going to threaten you. I mean, so be in control. Be in control.
The lady yesterday, and she ended up getting really nasty and blocking us because I didn't say what she wanted to hear. And I was wrong saying on our page that this man was a scammer. And no, he hadn't asked for any money. In fact, he'd sent her money. So I said, well, that is the start of using you as a money mule. Mm-hmm. Well, no, of course it's not. He paid a very large bill for her, and she has been paying his bills.
Oh, so now she's on the payroll.
So she is being a money mule.
Yep. I mean, a lot of victims that I talk to say that, well, he's never asked for anything. And again, I say back it up to the time that you were in that grooming stage of the first week or two. How did you tell him that you're on Social Security, or you're retired, or you don't have any money, or you've been scammed before? So don't be a scammer this time, and make sure you're real, and don't even think about asking for any money. It's just stupid. It sounds so stupid. I can only imagine the scammers on the other side of it going, oh, we have another idiot. Bah, 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 bah.
I mean, receiving is worse legally than sending, because it's pretty dangerous, because you are receiving stolen money.
Right.
You are receiving the money from a woman who's been scammed. So your scammer has sent out and said to his other victim, to another victim, I want the money to go to the daughter's nanny in wherever, and this is her bank account, so send her the money. So when that victim decides, I've been scammed, I'm going to the FBI and I'm going to take the details of the person whose bank account I put the money in. Now, The person who is legally responsible for receiving stolen money is the person
That's taking it.
whose name is on the bank account.
Right.
Oh, unknown. Do you know? I always like the brave ones. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, think about it. Think with your head.
I'm going to read a here that I got from another victim. She had sent a screenshot of a message from a scammer to, I guess it appears to me that they're drumming up business for the mule services. So there was no I think there was no romance involved in this. It was, and it could be too, one of those blind messages that we get on Messenger, you know, hey, I've got your government grant for you, blah, blah, blah. But this is from a scammer. And the message to this person was,
yeah,
what we do initially is make a deposit payment of a particular amount to your bank account, credit card. You will take your 20% as your own cut daily and send the rest, the 80%, to a beneficiary attached to you after the initial deposit has been made available. For example, if a total deposit of $2,000 was initiated, then you have $300 as your own cut, and you send the rest on to a beneficiary. So all I need to do is create a bank account for the payment, or if you have an existing bank account, it could likewise be used. You could make use of an existing account or credit card or credit union. It's just to receive payment. Some personal info would be needed for security reasons because of workers who run away with the funds, okay? We don't need your personal information. All we need is your maximum and absolute integrity. Wow.
Yeah. So then, you know, you've got everything. I was trying to talk a girl through getting her account back, which of course is very, very difficult, because what had happened was somebody had said, just like Pam's just read out, they were going to give us some money. Which one's that one?
This one's Shadow.
Oh, he's our black boy.
The big boy.
Yeah, so this person was going to give us $600. Now, this girl didn't have very much money. So anybody giving her $600, no, she hadn't thought about it, but, you know. So what they said to her was, as a gesture of goodwill, send us a copy of your driver's license, front and back, and your username and password to your Facebook account.
Yep.
So she did. So then they changed the password of her account.
Just like that. She is locked out. She's lost it forever.
And they started to send messages to her friends that she was stuck somewhere, and she, you know, could they send her $50? And you know, it's me. Here's my driving license. And
wow,
you know, they're scum. Let's face it, they are scum.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, we could call them very much worse, but you know, we're polite ladies. We do call them very much worse between ourselves. You know, and something else which comes up a dozen times a day. Somebody will come to us and say, I've been scammed by so-and-so's pictures. I've been scammed by this account. Please show this on your website so nobody else is caught by this scammer.
Right.
Now, so the person that said this didn't do any research before the scam, but she wants it to be on the site so that nobody else is caught. But the thing is, nobody actually does any research before the scam. We are the easiest people in the world to find afterwards.
Right.
But not before. And so, yeah, I'd love to put everything on the page so that nobody else was ever caught.
But
because I don't like...
Stop the scam from happening.
No, I don't like people coming to us and say, I wish I'd found you before because I've sent $30,000. You know, I don't like that happening. When it could all have been, you know, every single scam could have been stopped. Absolutely, every single scam.
Speaking of money, I caught my spreadsheet up of the financial information that's been given to us since January 1st of this year. So out of 133 victims, we are now at a total of $5,884,593 worth of financial losses. And that's 133 people only.
Yeah, 133 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It really is, the amount of money that is sent, and the times that, you know, that people are sending money is getting shorter now. You know, we've $7,000, and she'd known him 2 months.
Ridiculous. It's horrible.
You know, it's getting, well, it's just getting silly. It really is, because every single one of them is an absolute tragedy. It's a heartache, and it's something that so many people just never recover from. I mean, we've got a man that we talked to. He has no idea how he's going to pay the money back that he borrowed to pay his scammer, thinking he was paying the love of his life that was coming to see him next week with her father's inheritance of a couple of million.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go back on a scam. You can't sort of not have it happen.
And you can't get your money back. Once it's gone, it's gone. No matter what anybody tells you. And when I say that, it's for all of the other fraudulent people that know that you've been scammed, or maybe they're scammers. Scammers are on your page, Ruth. I mean, they're watching some of the things that we say. So all the other sites too, I've noticed that, say a victim will post that she's been scammed or he's been scammed, and a scammer will then swoop in and say, I've been scammed too, and I had this wonderful recovery program that got my money back.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, and blah, blah, and next thing you know, you're off and running on the second scam. So be very careful, and once the money is gone, it's gone.
And how dangerous is that? We had a lady come to us, and she paid us money on WhatsApp to get her money back and her scammers arrested. And we said, we're not on WhatsApp.
Nope.
Said, but you were working with Patrick from the FBI and it was your picture.
Yeah.
No, we aren't on WhatsApp.
Wasn't us.
Wasn't us at all. And we would never, ever, ever ask for one dime.
No.
Not €1, not one penny, not one anything. You know, a recovery scam is a very cruel scam where the scammers are getting the victim again, basically.
Right. Yep.
And another thing I think some of you don't realise is how big this is, because people will say, you know, take for example, we've got Dr. Pinto, because everybody knows Dr. Pinto. So you've got Fernando Gomez Pinto, and they will come to us and say, the scammer's using this name now, the scammer's using that name now. There isn't one scammer or even one little team of scammers who are using Dr. Pinto's pictures.
Right.
There are thousands of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because once he's on their laptop, he can be used by as many scammers as he like.
Yeah,
so you can't.
I did that a lot in the Scam Handlers United for You, the chat group. And they're saying, my scammer's back again. He's using this name now.
Yeah.
And it's not this, it probably is not the same person. You know, especially with Dr. Pinto, he's a big fan of scammers. So he's got videos out there. So they gravitate towards him. It's not the same. It's probably not the same scammer, just used over and over and over again.
Yeah. So, you know, this is huge. Scamming is huge. It's not, you know, somebody said to me today on Google, I reckon there's a big gang behind this.
Well, yeah.
There's probably 10,000, 50,000 big gangs behind it, you know? So if one doesn't get you, the other one will. So there's only one way to do this.
How do we stop it, Ruth? Tell me, how do we stop this from happening? What would you recommend?
Bomb. It's got to be education.
Yep.
It's awareness. It's got to be awareness, because the thing is that it's a nation. It's what they do. I mean, they scam each other, they fraud each other. It is something that West Africa does. They have found something that they can do. You know, You might get it. You might get a country that's good at banking, or a country that's good at making steel. West Africa's good at thieving and stealing money. And it's got to be awareness. We've got to get to the stage where somebody says, oh, I've got, I've got this man sent me a friend request. I'm not a scammer. And get rid of it. Do not talk to them. Have a video call with a Nigerian to know how to stop it. Really?
What? Who was that? Unknown. Whoever.
Unknown.
That's
Come
ridiculous.
on. Have a video call with a Nigerian to know how to stop it. Really, you must be a Nigerian. Because no, I am sorry.
That's not. I hope that.
I actually, Sandy came upon something in another scam group, and they were having a Zoom call with their members, with a Nigerian who was going to tell them how to recognize scams.
Okay. I mean, I'm all for having free information. Not that I'm going to believe anything that's told to me, and I'm pretty intelligent. I can sort out, BS from a possibility. So, but that's okay. I mean,
I'm sorry, but I would not trust one of them. We don't trust them.
Never.
We don't ever trust, Yeah, they'll come to me and they'll say, well, I could really help you. I can give you a lot of information. Well, pal, I can probably give you a lot more. So, just go. No. And as Pam will tell you, Pam, we've had it again this week, haven't we? He came clean. He confessed. I'd sent him, I don't know how many, $30,000 or something. And he confessed to being a scammer, and he confessed to being Nigerian, and he's now in love with me. And we've got, and this poor woman had to come to us and say, how do you cope with it? He's 30, my mom's 72, and she wants to go to Nigeria to marry him.
Right. And that one's a tough one for me to try to get her to realize that she is putting herself into danger. It's happened before. Women and men have gone to Nigeria, and the three stories that come to my mind, I mean, one lady, the two of the ladies were passed around as sex slaves. The third one that you had mentioned, the young daughter that had to go get her mom, she was in a coma because they
poisoned her.
They poisoned her and put her in a coma. A fourth one that I've known through my travels, that somebody had married the African, brought him here, lived as a couple for 9 years. It went, who knows when it went south, but he put a bullet in her head and then he put one in his head. So we're talking dangerous people.
We've had several where they've actually, I know Europe ones, not American ones, but I do know Europe ones where they've come to Europe, England, and one in France and one in Italy, where they've lived with them for the very least amount of time that they needed to. Once they've got the leave to remain and all the visa papers, then they're off. Yeah. I mean, one in Sweden had actually brought his girlfriend over. Once he got his Swedish passport, so he left her, took all her money, and brought his girlfriend over from Ghana. And yeah, they're living in Sweden. But there is a thing there's a thing that they do, and they call it catching an old white. And it's a treasure, catching an old white. And basically it's coming to older women who they think, because we're widowed, we're desperate. And basically doing the whole romance scam thing, but as themselves, still a scam. Nigerians claim to be Christians. Yeah, do you know, I had a really long conversation with a Nigerian who told me that they can do this because Jesus died for their sins. And they absolutely believe that because Jesus was crucified on the cross, they can do it because he died for their sins. All the sins before and all the sins after. Now, if you can get that into your head, I mean, let's believe in anything. But catching an old white is a thing. I've got plenty of it on the Facebook page because they come to me a lot. And they will tell you, oh, there's plenty of old white women come over and marry Nigerians. Well, yeah, it doesn't last very long, and they could end up, losing their life. But they can make as much money scamming as they like.
From our country, so you deserve it. What is that?
Oh, you took everything. Oh, yeah, the slavery thing and the minerals and the everything else.
enslaving their own people. So it's nothing.
No,
but
not all Nigerians are Christians. Some of them are Muslims. Yeah, they've got basically they are lazy, they are greedy, they are quite dirty, and basically, if you can sit on your little skinny backside and type on your phone, and then go and pick up a few $1,000s a week, you know,
sweet.
are you going to go and work for a living, you know,
It's
in a shop or on the railway or
a crime of
whatever?
opportunity. Is a crime of opportunity, a perfect crime of opportunity, because they won't get caught. But why is the opportunity even there? Because we're allowing them into our lives.
And you see, they can make as much money as they like. A lot of them are very rich people. They're drowning in gold. They have the most amazing clothing that they buy.
All of the designer
Kelvin's clothes, yeah. I mean, yellow. They love yellow.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. You wouldn't have seen that, Pam. I'm going to mention something to you in a minute.
Okay.
And they can make as much money as they like, but it's very difficult to get a visa out of Nigeria. So they have to do it, and if they can catch an old white and they can get married, and you know, you deserve nothing, alea. I love that word, because when you say alea to somebody who's trying to scam you, they think you're Nigerian, and it's brilliant. You wouldn't see, because it was a message that came into to Instagram, and it came on the top of my screen, Pam, and somebody is trying to tell them that he swears down he's not a scammer.
Oh really?
Yeah. Your pet hate of asking the scammer if he's a scammer.
Right. And right, that's exactly, I hear it every single time. I'm talking to either a family member or the actual victim themselves, and what do? They take that shocking information or that angry information that I've just now presented to them, and they're going right back to their internet lover that they've never met. So basically, essentially, they are asking a scammer, look what she said. Are you really a scammer? Well, of course they're going to tell you. Oh, for goodness sakes, don't ever accuse them of that ever again. It's like, you know, where's the trust in this and that? So you can't ask a scammer about the scamming questions. Do your own research. Back up what you need to do on your own. So, who just said something funny?
Nothing. It wasn't it. I'm watching the cat. She's trying to catch the fan.
Oh, Agnes.
Yeah, she's like this. She's trying to catch the fan as it's going round.
Oh, okay.
I like Agnes. She likes keyboards. Yeah. I mean, do not ask a scammer if they're a scammer.
I mean, we're here to help. I mean, what are you doing this for, Ruth? To get as many people away from the scammers as possible, and to help give some comfort and support to the victims, and to spread awareness about this horrendous crime. So we're here to help. Just
not everybody in Nigeria scams.
I don't believe it.
Okay, well, all right then. I don't suppose 100% of Nigerians can do scam. I think there might be some nice Nigerians.
Maybe.
However, I think I can probably count them on here. And we all know, and it doesn't matter what you want to tell me, that there are hundreds of thousands. That scamming is a Nigerian pastime.
It is. It's their job.
You know it.
It is their job. And you know, I hear it all the time about, well, he's a real person. He's real nice, and he's not a scammer. But then I take a look inside their profile, and of that profile of the Nigerian, and look at all of the friends that they have. Total scammers. I mean, you can pick them out easily. So if that person is supposed to be so good, so pure, that they're not scammers, what do they have all of 5,000?
And they've got,
yeah, so
they've got hustle, they've got more money to your bank account, they've got my G. They like to call themselves G. They don't like Yahoo Boys anymore, apparently. It's G. Well, it's been G for a while. But yeah, they admired and looked up to. So that's fine. Now, you know, they do call themselves God-fearing. I think you should be God-fearing. If you are living the life that you're leaving, I think you should fear God a lot.
Look at Agnes.
I'm waiting for her to jump on it.
What a goofball.
She keeps raising her legs as if she's going to jump on it.
Oh gosh, and she would. She's my
So yeah, you know, the thing is that we are a group of people who meet here every week, who you come onto our pages, and it's brilliant. You know, I never thought when I started this, and then Pam came in and all the others, we've got some wonderful, wonderful ladies working on these pages. You just really, I wish you could meet them all, because the amount of time that these people put in,
all voluntary,
all voluntary, is just amazing. And you know, the thing is, we try to talk sense. That is all we want. We are not trying to stop your love life. We are not trying to stop you find. She's going to jump on that fan pan. We're not trying to
take your happy away.
Rubbish your life, because I mean that's what we get accused of. You don't want us to be happy. I'd love you to be happy, but with somebody who stood next to you,
right?
You know, they'll come to me and they'll say, "You'll never be anything but a widow because you're horrible," and all. They're scamming me. They've come to me to scam me. So, you know, they said this. It's like at times, you know, it's like times they know. They know it themselves. This lady's putting me off. I have a friend for 15 years now. He is from Nigeria and he's a nice guy. I know a guy from Nigeria. He doesn't live in Nigeria anymore. And he's a really nice guy.
And maybe he is a nice guy to that lady. But you know what? Give me his profile. Let's take a look at how many friends, if he's such a nice guy. I mean, how many friends
you are so right.
That are
Nigerians. We're all watching Agnes now.
So, you know, I get so annoyed with that. And it's my opinion. It is my opinion. Nobody else has to subscribe to it, but I don't care. Yeah. I literally believe that all of Nigeria has at least one time or another been affiliated with.
And they might not scam. You see, if they don't, if they don't actually talk to you, they don't see themselves as scamming. But they might be the person that buys the iTunes cards. They might be the person who arranges for you to have a bouquet of flowers.
How many times have you been told, Ruth, from a scammer, an actual scammer, why are you being so bitchy? I've never scammed you.
Yeah, so, they're not a scammer if they actually have not got anything from you. But you know, there's a lot of people working in the background. There's a lot of people who do the photoshopping, who you know, who do the fake forms, who do the fake websites. You know, they don't call themselves scammers. They actually call themselves business people. They don't call themselves scammers, but they are. They're all part of the scam.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Nigerians. I know you don't like the word scammer. I know you don't like to be called a scammer, but you're a scammer.
Yeah. And I've got better words for that. I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah. Well, we'll be polite because we're ladies. So it is a business to them. I mean, you know, and they're very proud of it. Nigeria is a poor country. Yeah, I wonder why.
Depends on what you're calling poor. I mean, there's people there, lots of Nigerians that are just filthy rich, hundreds and thousands, maybe millionaires. Who knows? All I know is one victim out of, let's say, 100 in 6 months can score $100,000. Do you know what I could do with $100,000 and how long it would last me? And this is one victim, and it just keeps on coming in. So, you know, don't tell me how poor they are. I don't give a rat's ass. They're not poor. They've got lots of money. And
you know, and also
their poor is none of our concern. Who cares? No one cares about how poor I am. I could give a rat's ass how poor they are. I don't care. They are evil criminals, and they have no right to do what they're doing.
Can you imagine the application that they actually put into scamming? How clever they are with the websites and all that they do. Yep. How cleverly they talk to people. How cleverly they learn how to speak English better. How can you imagine what Nigeria would be like if they applied that to the whole of Nigeria? It could be a marvelous country, but they don't want that because, you know, that would be too easy. But yeah. Oh, you've just ruined it for Agnes. That's terrible. Yeah. So, you know, let's let's have our, our weekly rant. And Ecuador and Colombia, Brazil is terribly, terribly badly hit. All down there is. But there again, you see.
What about the Filipinos? I mean, that's a very, very, what's the right word for their country? I don't know if they're poor. I don't think they're a poor country. Just that there's a lot of people there and jobs aren't plentiful. So there's a lot of victims there.
Filipinos and a lot of Asian women, Vietnamese are the same, believe very, very easily.
Looking to get out.
They believe. And they believe that, countries like the Philippines, they like to marry foreign husbands.
Mm-hmm.
So they believe they've got a foreign husband. They believe he's going to take them out of the Philippines. Filipinos very much earn money in a different country and send it home to mom and dad. So they believe that that's going to happen. So they will send money very, very easily. And of course, we know they're a target because they believe so easily. If nobody in the world sent any money to anybody,
out of business.
We wouldn't know what to do on a Saturday afternoon, Pam.
Right?
We'd be absolutely lost because we wouldn't have anything to talk about. So it is common sense, isn't it?
Yes. And here's my message. For my message for today is I want to highlight and underscore what to do with friend requests, because it's usually out there. So to me, the most dangerous profile out there is a friend request. Why? Because it says right off the bat that they are active. It's an active profile that is out there putting out friend requests to as many people that will take them. So for me, a friend request is the most dangerous profile, and I want to teach you what to do with it. You certainly do not respond to it, and you certainly don't even say, not even
Yes,
just say, who are you? Why did you send that to me? I don't know you. I don't talk to strangers, so why did you send that to me? They're talking to a stranger. So I want to teach you how to deal with that friend request. I personally love getting a friend request. Why? Because I automatically know it's a scammer, and I'm going to do everything in my power to disable that account. Yes, they're going to build another one just as quickly as they can, but for that particular profile, I want to teach you what to do with it. And I want to teach you how to report it to the computer. We're not reporting it basically to a human at Facebook or Instagram. You're reporting it to a computer. So learn how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, which is filling out the automated quick, maybe a 5-second quick step. If you don't know how to do it, come to the page and just say, I want to learn how to report a fake profile. And we'll show you. Super easy. And then if they don't close, so mind you, a lot of people get frustrated with this. Well, the report said that doesn't violate community standards. I don't even read the reports. They mean nothing to me because I know the profile is fake. It's a scammer. And if it doesn't get closed, we will do our very best to hand deliver it to an actual human being, not the computer. So learn how to report the Facebook friend request or an Instagram by calling it I think Instagram is spam. You report it as a spam. And then Facebook is a fake profile. And there's like 6 or 7 clicks. But if you need instructions on how to do it, I'll help. I love teaching.
Pam's got quite a good explanation thing. I'll put it back up on our Facebook and on Instagram as well so that you can have a look at that. Okay. Because it's worth it. It really is worth it. So I'm going to say, you've spoiled my fun now because you've moved Agnes. So I'm going to say it's good evening from here because it's now 10 to 8 and time for a G&T for me, I think. Right. So I haven't had one yet. So time for a G&T for me. And yeah, I'll say thank you very much, Pam.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we'll come back and we'll say all the same things next week.
Do it again and hopefully we're going to save
one day.
Yep. Little by little.
One day we will get somewhere.
I hope so.
But we've got all of you. We've got all of you coming up. You don't if you've been the victim of a scam, then you don't have to say to people, oh, you don't talk about it because you don't want to tell anybody. Just say, I found out this online and it's all about scammers, but spread the word.
Right. Spread the word.
Talk about it. You don't need to tell anybody that it's happened to you.
Right.
Got nothing to do with anybody else.
Exactly.
But spread the word.
Especially for all those that have young children. They're going to be on social media, or they already are. Teach them what they need to know.
It will be a double tonight, yeah.
If you have an elderly parent that is on social media, get with them and show them the out there. It's all about spreading awareness and teaching.
Yeah, you can buy Great Auntie Edith a tablet for Christmas, because she can call you and you can have a nice little FaceTime, and it's lovely. You do that by Christmas. By March, Great Auntie Edith's sending iTunes cards.
Yeah.
And she's planning on getting married, and she's looking starry-eyed. So, watch them. So I'm going to leave it to Pam. I'm going to go and get my gin. And I'll see you next week, ladies. Bye, everybody.
See you next time, Ruth. So that's my big message is, knowing what to do with those friend requests. I want to teach you, if you don't know how to report it. It can be different on a telephone versus the computer, but in all actuality, it all follows the same pattern. And mostly on these profiles, and those two, I've targeted Facebook and Instagram because those are the two that we do have some control over. But looking at the right side of the profile, you'll see 3 little dots. Click on those 3 dots, and then a pop-up screen will come up. For Instagram, I think it is literally just saying that it's a spam account, and it's very quick on Instagram. Facebook, there's about 6 to 7 steps, and you do have to follow all of those steps. And if the computer that you are telling the computer this is a fake account, if the computer recognizes certain markers about that fake account, it will take it down within seconds. If it doesn't, you don't need to wait around for that report to see if they agree or disagree. If the profile doesn't come down, then make a note of it or copy the link and put it off to the side. Come to the page, give it to us, and we will hand deliver it if we can. So that's my message for today. Spread the word, keep yourself safe. Don't talk to strangers. Don't ask them and tell them that they're a stranger. You don't want to talk to them. Just don't talk to strangers. And let's see how many more we can put out of business and save some money in our own pocket and, of course, our heartache. So take care, be safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye. And this, there we go.